Okay, welcome to this coaching call number 36, in which our topic is program stakeholder engagement. So, in this, first of all, I will cover the mind map, and then we take some questions from the students. Mr. Mudassar, what are the confusions, and then we will cover our own questions in this regard. So, starting with the mind map of this chapter, in the stakeholder engagement, we have 5 steps that we are doing. Program stakeholder identification. In the first step, I will make the stakeholder register. Then I will do program stakeholder analysis, in which I will analyze the stakeholders based on the power interest grid and based on the stakeholder map. Then third, I will be doing program stakeholder engagement planning. In this step, I will be making stakeholder engagement plan. And then we are doing the program stakeholder engagement and program stakeholder communication throughout the program lifecycle, in which we are interacting with the stakeholders, and the purpose is to keep them informed and to get their support and buy-in all the time for my stakeholders. That is the intent of doing the stakeholder engagement, to get the stakeholder support and to get their buy-in. So in the first step, when I am making the doing the stakeholder identification, this is actually done in the program definition phase, and more specifically in the program planning, program formulation subphase. Then stakeholder analysis is also done in the program formulation surface. If you see this block diagram that I have made, this is very key point. We get the feedback from the students also. This is very important. So whenever we are focusing on the program formulation surface, it should be clear we are making the stakeholder register and we are making the stakeholder analysis. Then under the program planning surface, we are making the stakeholder engagement plan, which is actually the subsidiary or the component of the program management plan. So in the stakeholder identification, when I will make the stakeholder register, it will list the stakeholders, categorize their relationships, ability to influence the program outcome, degree of support for the program, and what are the communication needs of my stakeholders. And secondly, stakeholder register is a dynamic document. It will be updated throughout the program lifecycle. It means that the program stakeholders can be continued to be identified at any phase of my program. But anyway, the first step will be to document the stakeholders, and then I will do their analysis. And uh, it's the only register, only document which is has to be properly secured. It's a confidential document, okay, and it should not be made public. Then after making the stakeholder register, I will do the stakeholder analysis. What I can do here is that I can use historical information, individual interviews, focus groups, questionnaires, surveys, key information through open-ended questions, level of authority, in which we are using the power interest grid, which is two-dimensional grid. If we have go to analyze the stakeholders, then we need to have their what is the power, what is the interest. We have to manage closely, keep informed, keep satisfied, and monitor. So this is how we are doing the stakeholder analysis. Then comes the stakeholder engagement planning, in which I will make the stakeholder engagement plan. It will have the organizational culture and acceptance of change, attitudes about the programs, relevant phases, expectation of program benefits delivery, degree of support or opposition to the benefits, and ability to influence the outcome of the program, in which I am making the stakeholder engagement plan. Now, once I have the stakeholder register done, stakeholder analysis is done, stakeholder engagement plan I have, then I will go to the stakeholder engagement. Although, if we see from the phases, stakeholder engagement is throughout the program life cycle, not only after the this phase. It is a continuous program activity. Program manager to ensure that all stakeholders are adequately and appropriately engaged. All interactions with the stakeholders are to be logged. Participation trends are analyzed and root cause analysis is performed. So we can see the why stakeholders are not attending our coming to the meetings, why they are not attending, why they are attending. We can do the root cause analysis. And use of an issue log to document, prioritize, and track issues to understand feedback from the stakeholders. Whatever we are going to interact, we will document it, we will log it. And the communication is simply is the heart of communication. Engage them throughout the life cycle of the program, keep them informed. Raised questions and answers should be captured and published. And all the communication among the stakeholders is a two-way communication between the program manager and the stakeholder. They tell it, they also listen to them, and then there are multiple ways how we are interacting with them. So this is the complete summary of the stakeholders. Now, what is your question? Please tell, and then later on I will go to the next step.
I will share my screen.
Yes, you can share your screen.
So this was one question that I noticed that I was attempting.
Hmm?
End state of a program, strategic objective, expected benefits can well be defined by uh, program charter and program management plan, vision, goals and objective, vision, benefit management plan, vision, mission, values. So I was wondering why not the answer number four, vision, mission, values, or organizational benefit management plan, progress plan.
Actually, actually, this is an ambiguous question. First of all, number one, you will not get some ambiguous questions. And secondly, end state of a program, strategic objectives, expected benefits can be well defined by vision, goals and objectives, vision, mission, and values. Where here the mission and vision are the same thing. So in general, he has given you to relate objective is written there. So that's why he has selected the option of B.
Okay,
Because the clear cut word here is strategic objectives. That's why he
okay,
is reading here vision, goals, and objectives. But this is an ambiguous question.
okay. So this was another question. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
To appropriately plan for program success, what should the program manager do to engage the stakeholders? To meet capture stakeholder issues and concerns in the issue log, that the program team understand the feedback, identify and clearly outline stakeholders' key requirements and expected benefits, to create a framework, outline how stakeholders will be engaged using the stakeholder register and stakeholder map, understand the organizational culture and politics, the overall program impact, and program related stakeholders' concerns. Okay, now you read the question and then tell me what is the issue.
To meet growth expectations and its broad mandate, an organization drafts a business strategy to meet future challenges and put the business on track. Key to the new strategy is to upgrade the IT infrastructure in strategic direction by transitioning from an on-premise to cloud-based compute platform that will optimize cost and offer scalability, performance, and high availability. To appropriately plan for program success, what should the program manager do to engage stakeholders?
Okay.
Capture stakeholder issues, concerns in the issue log to keep the program team to help the program team understand stakeholder feedback and manage them to closure. Identify and clearly outline stakeholder key requirements and expected benefits to create framework that addresses ongoing program activities and stakeholder needs. Because I was saying, because he's saying to appropriately plan, so it means we are in the planning phase. We're not in the execution phase. So that's why I wanted to select. To me, option number one was not okay because this means
Yes.
capture stakeholder issues. So issues have not occurred since we
Right.
are in the plan.
So
Okay, so
we use elimination technique. A is gone.
A is gone. Okay. B can be
Okay.
because identifying outline stakeholder key requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Outline how stakeholders will be engaged using stakeholder register and stakeholder map. Uh, we are in the planning phase, and this can be a good option. Outline
Okay.
stakeholders
Mm-hmm.
because number four is understand organization culture and politics and overall program impact and programmed stakeholder concerns. Uh, this can be good, but he's asking clearly what should the program manager do to engage stakeholders. So to me, option number B looks okay.
But what is a framework? We have only financial framework. We don't have any other framework in any of the domain. We have the plans. If we would have written here, identify and clearly outline stakeholders' key requirements and expected benefits to create a plan that address ongoing program activities and stakeholder needs, then B is the correct answer. No question in that. But here the specific word he has used is framework. So conceptually it is correct, but logically framework was is only from the activities, you remember, from the it's only financial framework. So this is a
Naturally.
tricky point here. That's why
Okay.
I have no stakeholder framework with me. I have only stakeholder engagement plan with me.
Engagement plan. Okay, okay.
And
And So why then option number C is also good. Outline how stakeholders will be engaged using stakeholder register and
Okay.
stakeholder map.
But how you will engage the stakeholders is told by the stakeholder engagement plan, not by the
Yeah,
stakeholder register and stakeholder map. In stakeholder map, you're actually doing the analysis. If he would
analysis.
have, if he would have said, uh, analyze the stakeholders using the stakeholder register and techniques, stakeholder map, power interest grid, that is the correct answer. But here he say, actually he wants the answer to be some type of a plan.
Okay.
This is a tone, but framework is wrong because there is no stakeholder framework document I am studying. I am only studying financial framework. And
Okay.
secondly, in the C option, outline how stakeholder will be engaged will be told to me by the stakeholder engagement plan, not by the stakeholder register.
Okay.
If we
So
go to
option
the
number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, if we go to the specific elements of the stakeholder register, I will cover in few time. Then we will see that there is nothing telling you how you will engage the stakeholders.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So the correct option is option number 4.
Understand the organizational culture and politics, the overall program impact and program related stakeholder concerns. This is a general answer. What should the program manager do to engage stakeholders? Actually, he is trying to do the analysis.
Yes.
So you see, when we are doing the stakeholder map, what we are looking into there, we are looking into the culture, politics. Impact actually means influence, power interest, and related concerns. What are the observations? So actually, he is analyzing the stakeholder using these statistics. This is the meaning of this option. To you see, he seen to appropriately plan for program success. What should the program manager do to engage stakeholders? So actually, you have to analyze the characteristics of the stakeholders. Based on that characteristics, you will make the stakeholder engagement plan. That is the step procedure.
Okay.
So in option number D, he is telling you that you are doing the stakeholder analysis, keeping in view this characteristics of the stakeholder: culture, politics, impact, and the concerns.
Yeah.
So this is basically understanding the features or the characteristics of the stakeholder. This is what is going on here.
Okay. 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 So although in the answer option number A is selected, in the explanation option number A is selected, but I think the right answer is option D then.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, I will look into this question. Please send me on WhatsApp. I will recheck this question also. But this here the D is the correct answer.
Okay, sir.
Down. Okay.
Your sponsor had approved your program. Now you're focused on program initiation formalities. One of the most important outcome of initiating a program formulation is program business case. No, because first of all, business case is approved, and only
Hmm.
then we move to the program charter. That's why I was confused, because here program charter is selected as the right answer.
Yeah. Now you are focused on program initiation formalities. One of the
Yes.
most important outcome of initiating a program in program formulation phases. He is not asking you the first outcome. Number one. Number two,
Okay.
in number one, and number
Awesome.
two, from this thing, what we are making in the program formulation surface actually should be initiating formality, means program formulation surface. Business case, then charter, roadmap. These are the three my documents, right? And after
Yes.
this, I go to the program planning surface in which I make the program planning surface. So actually, theoretically, he is asking you the key outcome of the program formulation surface. What is my last document of the program formulation surface? Roadmap is not here. So then is a charter, and business case is the first document that is made. You understand the sequence?
Yes.
If
Charter, business case, charter, and
roadmap.
program roadmap.
So
But
roadmap is not given here. Okay.
yes.
So and secondly, one of the most important outcome of program formulation surface. So it actually he's asking. It should be very clear what is the last output of the formulation phase. That should be the correct wording of the question. In this case, the answer would be the charter.
Yes.
Important is a very general word. Business case you can feel is important. I will say charter is the important thing. But the question should be rephrased in such a way that your sponsor has approved your program It means that approval has been given, authorization has been given. Now you are
Yes,
focused on program formulation surface. The most important outcome or the last outcome of the program formulation surface is what? In that case, will be very clear the charter. Okay.
understood. I understand. Understood. So these were the questions. I
Now
think these three.
they one more question, I think, for the risk on page number 2. It's so simple.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What when you do your program risk response strategy, first you should realize you need to combine risk thresholds and initial risk assessment, determine the potential responses, prepare your program risk management plan, ensure the program's objectives support the strategy. Okay, now read the question.
Okay. Assume you have performed an initial risk assessment for your new program to transform your company into one that does not work in silos. Many stakeholders are negative to your idea for this program as they enjoy their roles in silos and no one really likes change.
Hmm.
You realize you need stakeholder support as you prepare your proposed business case and throughout the program. When you do your program risk response strategy, first you should realize you need to a combine risk thresholds with initial risk assessment. Okay, determining the potential responses. No. uh, Prepare your program risk management plan. This can be a good strategy because first you need to prepare your program risk management plan, and only based upon those plan you will handle your risk.
Okay.
Ensure the program objectives support the strategy. This uh, I mean,
So
this is a general statement, but we need to be more focused. So I thought option number C should be selected. First, program risk management plan happens, and then we start identifying the risk and defining the risk strategy.
okay. So in that case, the key word here is initial risk assessment. So you
Ini-
remember in the eco initial risk assessment, initial program assessment is done in the first stage,
Initiation phase.
in the initiating phase. So the key
Yes.
word here is that when you do your risk response strategy, first you should realize you need to. If you prepare the program risk management plan, that is conceptually correct. But here he has mixed us with the keyword of combined risk threshold and with initial risk assessment. Number one is initial risk assessment and risk
Yes.
threshold. We should always know before the risk management plan, because the risk management plan will be prepared for the risk only which are above the thresholds. In the risk
Yes.
management plan, I will write, okay, if the risk is greater than this 5% value, what is my risk threshold, then only the risk management plan should be triggered. So in
Yes.
that way, the first step is to have your risk thresholds and your initial risk assessment, then only we can go for the plan. So firstly you should have the risk assessment, initial risk assessment and the thresholds. And secondly also, there can be one question that you are a program manager, you have started to do a lot of risk management response strategies for your identified risks, a lot of story, but after some time you found out this all exercise was useless because the risk, all the identified risk has that were below the risk response threshold strategy, were below the risk thresholds. So it means
Yes. Yes.
whatever activity you did was useless because you never knew what is your risk threshold or what is your risk appetite. You see, so
Yes.
from that perspective, first of all, we should know what is my risk threshold, and if something goes above that, then for that I should make a risk management plan and risk response strategy.
Understood. Yeah. 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 Now makes sense.
Okay. Any other question?
No, sir.
Good.
These were all.
Good. Now just look at as the keywords in the stakeholder engagement plan. You can see my screen, the master
Yes,
sheet.
sir, I can.
Okay.
Sir, I can.
Okay. We do the stakeholder engagement. It's a two-way communication process. Then we saw the key stakeholders. Number one was the program manager, and for him the key word was the responsibility.
Yes.
And others, you say what was this?
A program manager was a champion for change.
Hmm.
He's actually responsible for everything.
Yes,
Essentially, everything is his responsibility
he has to
except the
make.
financial. Yeah.
Yes, and
Otherwise, what?
he has to set engagement goals, assesses the governance framework. He will make all the plans. He will maintain the progress. He will update the registers and everything. That
He
is
will
a
do the communication, everything, his responsibility.
yes, responsibility. Good. Then when we identify the stakeholders, we make a stakeholder register in which we list the stakeholders, categorizes their
Category.
relationship to the program, their ability to influence the program outcome, degree of support for the program, other characteristics or attributes. Program team uses it for reporting, distributing program deliverables, and providing formal and informal communication. Contains politically and legal sensitive information, may have review restrictions, secured, and is a dynamic document. And what is the program sponsor?
Sponsor is accountable. He's
Yes,
accountable. He provides financing and resources, approval to use the resources. Just that he provides approval to use the resources by
right.
providing.
The champion for the program. And program steering committee or the program governance board, what is the key tone in this?
They are important. They are responsible for providing the approval
Yes.
to use the resources, approval to do any change, and if some decision may needs to be taken which is above the pay grade or above the
Hmm.
hierarchy of manager, if program steering committee is the one who gives.
And then they will give you the go ahead to end the phase from where to where we are going.
Yes.
Project manager or the component manager lead the project team. He will be start. What is his working tenure?
The program project manager will be responsible for the project as long as it's in play. Once it's finished, then their role finishes.
And it's only in the program delivery phase because our
Program, yeah,
component will
only
be
the delivery.
initiated and closed in the program delivery phase. Team members, and what is the key tone of PMO?
They are the ones who are performing the project activities and or program activities.
Right? No, PMO. Program.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. PMO, yeah, PMO is responsible for giving guidance, support. PMO
Yes.
in PM in program management is supportive always.
Yes.
By
Is
sharing resources, yes, by sharing guidelines, methodologies, tools, and techniques.
customers are the one who can use this product. Suppliers who are giving the services. Regulatory agencies give you the mandatory standards or legal things. Then we do the stakeholder analysis in which we categorize the stakeholders like we saw in the questions also based on their culture, politics, a lot of other characteristics we have to do. We can use surveys, questions, and we use the power interest grid and the stakeholder map. In the power interest grid is only based on the power and the interest, and the overall stakeholder register and the prioritization of the stakeholder engagement activities should be regularly reviewed and updated as the work of the program progresses. So this is how we are going to do this thing. In the stakeholder map, when there are more than two characteristics, we use the stakeholder map. They visually represent the interaction of all stakeholders, assess the impact of change, take into account the interests, influence, dependencies, partnerships, and how well and when they have to be engaged. Then we make the stakeholder engagement planning in which we outline how all program stakeholders will be engaged throughout the duration of the program. Following aspects of each program of each stakeholders are considered: culture, attitudes, phases, degree of support, and ability. Is it clear? And
Yes.
then in the we make a stakeholder engagement plan in which we contains the detailed strategy, guidelines, engage in various components, define the metrics, include measures of participation, degree of active or passive support, strive to measure the effectiveness, and provide the program documentation how we are going to do this thing. Then we go to the program stakeholder engagement. It is a continuous program activity in which we are actually engaging with them, coordinating with them. The stakeholder register map engagement plan should be referenced and evaluated because now we have all the documents available. They may require facilitated negotiations sessions, help establish common high level expectations. Program manager provide appropriate information. All interactions should be logged of in form of a issue log or whatever is the document log. Impact analysis is used to understand the urgency and the probability of stakeholder issues and determine which issues could turn into the program risks. Then we come to the stakeholder communication in which we are sharing the information. Strategy is crafted for each stakeholder as identified in the stakeholder register. Communication requirements of what information has to be communicated. Questions from curious stakeholders are given, and decision making stakeholders should be provided with the adequate information to make the decision. That was our any question in that?
No, sir. Clear.
Then when I come to the echo of this thing from the keywords, identify stakeholders and create the stakeholder matrix to document their position relative to the program. So whenever I will ask you any document which will provide their position relative to the program, the answer will be the stakeholder matrix. Perform
Okay.
stakeholder analysis to create the stakeholder management plan. After doing the stakeholder analysis, what you will make is the stakeholder. First, we do the stakeholder analysis, and then then we make the stakeholder management or engagement plan. Negotiate the support of stakeholders while setting clear expectations and acceptance criteria for the program benefits to maintain their alignment with the program objectives. Maintain visibility for the program and confirm stakeholder support to achieve the program strategic objectives. Maintain communications adapted to different stakeholders to ensure their support for the program. Evaluate risks and incorporate them into the risk management plan. Any type of change will be managed as per the change management plan. Every sort of a risk will be managed as per the risk management plan. Foster relationships with stakeholders to improve communication and enhance their support for the program. Is this echo clear?
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay. So any question, any query till now?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay. So now let's do some questions. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question number
Okay.
87.
Okay. What is the main reason for maintaining communication with stakeholders? To ensure stakeholders' support for the program, to ensure stakeholders' alignment for the program, to ensure funding for the program, to get the benefits delivered. You're a program manager in the organization. Stakeholders register is available, and CEO of the company emphasizes in every monthly meeting that all the program managers of his company should communicate effectively with all stakeholders. What is the main reason for maintaining communication with the stakeholders? To me, option number A is the right one because A, it includes a keyword support and for the program.
So we are saying that we have to ensure stakeholders support for the program or stakeholders buy-in for the program. That is the main reason we are communicating with the stakeholders. That is the main reason we are engaging the stakeholders so that they are updated, they are informed, and they support us for all our program objectives. Is it correct? A is the right answer.
Yes, sir. It's the right answer.
Good.
What should your approach to dealing with such a negative attitude stakeholders? Call them and invite them for a dinner, develop and foster relationships with the stakeholder, ignore them and do not contact them, report the issue to the program steering committee. As a program manager, you are reviewing the stakeholder register. You notice that some of them are against the program and not willing to talk to anyone. They have neither attended any meeting nor you have ever met them. What should be your approach to dealing with such a negative attitude stakeholders? To me, the first option is develop and foster relationships with the stakeholder. Uh, because calling them and inviting them for a dinner, some stakeholders might or some cultures might consider this as negative,
Right.
especially inviting them for a dinner. Calling them is okay, but
Hmm.
maybe dinner is okay.
Yes. Right.
Ignore, ignore
A is wrong.
is
Eliminate C.
wrong. C is also wrong. Ignore. We cannot ignore any stakeholder.
Yes.
D, report the issue to program steering committee. This is too initial a phase. First, we should try to solve it ourselves. So option number B is the right one.
Excellent.
Develop it.
Excellent. So if you're able to read the questions and do use this elimination technique, is very good. It's very simple. And
Yes.
keep in mind, escalation to the next step is the last option. In many of the answers, you will see you have find out risk that can affect your program. So the option of escalating will always be there. But just keep in mind, in 99% of the time, that will not be the correct option because you are a program manager. You are responsible to manage all the things at your level. If you have to escalate to everything, you are not more required there. Okay. In worst cases, when you will say that you have tried your best and you are not able to do anything, then only in that case, their answer would be escalation policies and procedures.
Okay. Why is it important to generate and maintain visibility for the programs and confirm stakeholder support? A, achieve program benefits. B, achieving funding for the program. No, achieve program strategic objectives. D, achieve stakeholders buy-in for the program. I think option number D is okay. Is the one, because a program funding is already provided because by the sponsor. Achieve program strategic objectives can be, but a better option is option number D. Stakeholders buy-in for the program, because once the buy-in is there, they will keep on supporting all the initiatives.
Okay, so this was a tricky question. Read the question again.
Why is it important to generate and maintain visibility? Maintain visibility for the program and confirm visibility.
What is the main focus? I am saying that why I should generate and maintain visibility for the program. I am not asking you why it is important to engage the stakeholders. The question, the previous question was asking you why you are engaging your stakeholders. That in that case, the correct answer is D. Here I am asking you about my program. Why is it important to generate and maintain visibility for the program and conform stakeholder support?
I think then option number B.
Funding is from the sponsor. Funding is from the
Funding.
sponsor.
Yeah, then option number C, achieve program strategic objectives.
Yes. Let me show you the difference. This is a thinking of difference of uh, 87. Okay, you see, what is the main reason for maintaining communication with the stakeholders? What is the main reason to engage the stakeholders? What is the main reason to interact with the stakeholders? In that case, the correct answer is to ensure stakeholder support for the program, to ensure stakeholders buy-in for the program. If I am focusing on the stakeholders, why I'm interacting with them, the correct answer is stakeholder support and buy-in. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, in this question, I am saying why is it important to generate and maintain visibility for the program? Why my program should always be visible to all the stakeholders and
Yes.
confirm stakeholder support. Stakeholder support is already there. I just need to confirm it. So the main purpose of maintaining the program visibility is that to achieve program strategic objectives. My ultimately, once I have gotten the support of the program, for example, if I say why I should be, why I should ensure, why I should confirm the stakeholder support is there, because at the end of the day, I need to achieve my program strategic objectives. I am doing
Yes.
all this exercise to make sure that I get the required objective for which the program is started. Okay, so if I
Yes.
say why it is important to engage the stakeholders to make sure they are happy, they are satisfied, then it is to get their support. I will get the support for whatever reason I need, and once I have gotten the support, then the purpose is to make sure the program strategic objectives are achieved. Understood? So in this case, the option is C, because the important here is to maintain visibility for the program and confirm stakeholder support.
In which of the following document is the position of the stakeholders relative to the program written? Stakeholder map, program management plan, stakeholder engagement plan, stakeholder matrix. Stakeholder map. In stakeholder map, the position, we put the position of the stakeholder.
What was in the echo? I just studied. Which document tells you the position of the stakeholder related to the program? Stakeholder map is a technique in which you are analyzing the stakeholders. Power interest grid and stakeholder map is a technique that we are using. The document is a stakeholder matrix. Echo 1. Read the echo number 1. You have, or shall I share?
Sir, I have.
Okay. Read the task 1 of stakeholder engagement.
Strategic program initiate. Task 1. Identify stakeholders, including sponsors, and create the stakeholder matrix. Create the stakeholder matrix in order to document the position relative to the stakeholder matrix.
Okay. So this is the way how the question will be made from echo. Here the keyword is position of the stakeholders. So when I see, okay, position, answer is a matrix. Okay.
Yes, sir. Full position.
91.
The risks have been identified by stakeholders. As a program manager, you're evaluating the risks. In which document will you incorporate the risks as necessary? It will be a risk register, program risk management plan, stakeholder engagement plan, stakeholder. This will be a pro risk register. Risk document is a risk register.
You are evaluating the risk. In which document will you incorporate the risks as necessary? So it will be the risk register in which we have all the risks, we are analyzing the risk, and later on it will be incorporation will be in the risk management plan. B.
The risk management plan will be tells you how to handle or manage the
Yeah.
risks, because it includes the threshold, the strategies, and your tolerance. So risk should not be entered in risk register. No.
The risk have been identified by the stakeholders, means the risk which is already existing. As a program manager, you are evaluating the risk. We are doing the evaluation. Let me share. Equal.
Yes, sir. It is task 6. It says
Retask is
evaluate risk identified by stakeholders, including sponsors, and incorporate them in program risk management plan.
here the keyword is evaluating. He's not saying that in which document will you put the risks. If he's only analyzing the risk and putting the risk, it's a risk register. But here we are evaluating the risk. So evaluation is done in the risk management plan.
You're right.
B. Clear?
Yeah. What should you do to handle the situation? Add the issue to the program risk register. Wrong. Review and update stakeholder register. Review and update component communication management plan. Review and update the stakeholder engagement plan. You are a program manager for a multi-million-dollar program which has 3 projects, A, B, and C. During program delivery phase, a stakeholder complains that he did not receive a very important and critical information about project A. What should you do to handle this situation? Okay, add the issue to the program risk register. Again, issues are not added in risk register, issues are added in issue log. So
Right.
this option is gone. Review and update stakeholder register. We can, because stakeholder register contains communication needs of the stakeholder. Review and update component communication management plan. Okay. Review and update the stakeholder engagement plan. If more, because this is a component, so we need to review and update communication management plan. So option number C looks better because this is a component that we are talking about.
But what is your stakeholder? He is at the project level or at the program level?
In the program delivery phase, a stakeholder completely not receive a very important critical. So this is program delivery phase. Okay. But components are also executed in the delivery
That
phase.
is clear.
So,
that is clear.
yeah.
The project, the one of the stakeholder told you that he doesn't get the information about the thing. So maybe the only option can be C or D. Okay, this is number
Yeah.
one agreement. If we review and update the communication component, communication management plan, so at this moment we don't know what is going on at the component level. At the component level, we only know that every project will have a plan, but theoretically we have not gotten into the detail of every plan that we are going to do. You know, also in the program delivery phase, when we were doing the activities, we had the program delivery phase, we had the communication management plan, but we did not talk about the component level details. In the program level, we are talking at the program level thing. If it was review and update the program communication management plan, maybe we can consider this. Just this is a trick here. That's why I explicitly put component level thing. We are not talking about the component level thing here. Although the problem is coming from project A, there can be multiple projects in that. Then he should say review and update component A communication management plan if he has to be more specific. But as a general principle, all our stakeholders are working at the program level. So first of all, we have to look at the plan which is working at the program level. And secondly, if we are not talking about the component level plans anywhere in the whole PgMP. So in this case, the correct answer is D. Review and update the stakeholder engagement plan, because maybe in the stakeholder engagement plan, this is written something for that particular stakeholder that the information has not to be sent to them, for example. Okay. So the correct answer here is D, stakeholder engagement plan. Is it clear? We are not
Yes, sir.
working at the component level plans. Okay. If there is any component going on, initiation, program delivery phase, everything we will talk about that in the component level, that is 100% clear, but not explicitly of the communication risk at the component level.
Within the above context, what should you do? You should follow the program team members as internal stakeholders, follow the program within the budget on time. You should follow the customer organization to achieve the intended benefits, meet with stakeholders, and allow everyone to follow their priorities. You should balance the stakeholder need by using negotiation among stakeholders. You're a program manager for the development of a new technology. Now you are evaluating conflicting stakeholder demands associated with program objectives. You found that program team members have a high interest in cost and schedule, but they have a low interest in quality and benefits. On the other side, customer organization has a high interest in benefits. Within the above context, what should you do? You should follow program team by external stakeholders follow. No, sometimes external are more important. You should follow the customer organization to achieve intended benefits. Meet with stakeholders and allow everyone to follow their priorities. Okay, the option number D is better because you need to balance the stakeholders' need by using negotiation among different stakeholder groups.
Perfect.
Both
So
are important.
if it is in the agile domain, then we will follow B, only look for the customer. But here it's not agile. We are not talking about a predictive environment, agile or hybrid environment. Number one thing you have to keep in mind, clear for the PgMP. In PMP, it is different. Okay, or in ACP is different. Here we are talking about program level thing. And secondly, whenever there is a conflict, the best answer is negotiation. Keep in mind. Here we have a conflict among internal stakeholders and the communication, whatever is the thing, balance the need using negotiation technique and everybody is satisfied. Okay. D.
The objectives of your program impact a large number of population. Public organizations are commenting negatively on your program objectives. What should you do first? First, update the stakeholder engagement plan, form risk analysis of negative media coverage about your program, review the program stakeholder register to determine the ability of these stakeholders to affect the program outcomes, meet with the steering committee to discuss the problem and determine the next steps. So option number D is gone. First, you need to solve it yourself.
Yes.
Review the program stakeholder to determine the ability of the stakeholders to affect the program outcome. I think this is a better option because maybe those organizations are not even important.
Yes. So first we identify the stakeholders. Secondly, we
Yes.
analyze the stakeholder. Then we do stakeholder engagement plan. So that was the thing that we discussed in the beginning also. Maybe you put a lot of efforts and ultimately you found out the stakeholders have no power, no influence. I was just wasting the time of making the plan for them. Okay.
Yes.
So the sequence has to be followed. Identify stakeholders, stakeholder analysis, then stakeholder engagement plan. So here the correct answer is C. Review them on the stakeholder register. Okay, last question for today.
What should you do first to obtain program approval? Create the stakeholder engagement plan? No. Meet the program team to identify and analyze the stakeholders? No. Team to analyze the business environment to identify key stakeholders and perform stakeholder analysis. Meet the project managers to identify and analyze the stakeholders. Okay. You are an experienced program manager. While you are reviewing the formulation procedures in the company, you notice that there is no procedure to manage the suppliers. What should you do first to obtain program approval? Create the stakeholder engagement plan. No. Meet with the program team to identify and analyze the stakeholder because you're in the formulation phase. No. Analyze the business environment to identify key stakeholders and form key. So option number C looks okay to me. Analyze the business environment to identify key stakeholders.
So first we cannot make the plan in the formulation phase. A is gone. Number D, if we cannot meet the project manager because project manager will come in the program delivery phase. D is gone. Now comes B and C. means the program team to identify and analyze the stakeholders. Possible means we have to identify, but more relevant is analyze the business environment to identify key stakeholders and then perform stakeholder analysis. Why? Because we are in the first step. We
Formulation,
have to formulation
planning
phase,
phase.
means we have to no, not planning phase, program definition, or more specifically the program formulation surface. So we have outside the business environment, organization level things, and then we have a program, and we have to
Okay.
interact between them. So the correct answer here is C. Is it clear, Mr. Saab? Any question, any query till now?
No, sir. It is clear.
Okay, so thank you very much for attending this call, and we see in the next call.